Hi, Ernst. Julia here. Recording this July 23rd, 2022, 5916 Annus Mundi. I'm going to be talking about Nibiru, the Annunaki, Flat Earth, and the Simulacrum. If you're not familiar with the Archaix research, you may want to watch the other short videos in the Archaix summary playlist on this channel, Simplicity Revealed. If you are versed in the Archaix research, you may want to watch them too. You might have some edits for me. So here's the story. Keep in mind that we're existing on the flat plane of inertia in a toroidal field that is housing a biosentient hologram. That's the reason there are so many proofs illustrating that we're on a stationary flat surface. Of course, since intention and beliefs modify the data streams we each observe, and the dome over us is programmed by the simulacrum to make it look like we're on a globe traveling through space, most people are convinced that we're on a globe traveling through space. Also, the simulacrum uses very sophisticated technology to make sure that we perceive it that way. Jason's branch of simulation theory brings another issue to the flat Earth debate by surmising that the real Earth is a globe traveling through space. How the physics of all that works, I'm not sure of. Ken Wheeler at Theoria Apophasis has good explanations, including that the universe consists of electromagnetic torus fields which manifest hydrogen effortlessly and perpetually. Hydrogen ultimately forms everything. I'll link his channel in the comments in case you haven't heard of Ken. It'd be great if Ken coordinated with Jason. Their two minds together could potentially figure all this out. Investigating flat Earth evidence has led many to simulation theory. I have a bit of a difficult time picturing a real flat Earth. Is it floating in space? Are there others? Simulation theory supports both views of the shape of the Earth. Hopefully, as more people come on board with simulation theory, the debate about the shape of the realm will eventually end. The parasitic rulers and their handlers know the truth and are happy to watch the truthers debate. More of what the parasites are covering up is not the shape of the Earth, but that we are immortal, powerful beings stuck in a simulation. Perhaps we're in a simulation within a simulation within a simulation, and the universe is only rendered within the simulations and doesn't really exist at all. Perhaps when we leave here, we do as Jason says and go out to be ambassadors to the universe, but it's really just the next simulation up. I'm not saying that's the way it is, but just a thought. I'd like to hear your thoughts too. Matter in this realm doesn't really exist. It's 99.999% empty space. Maybe that's the way it is in the real universe. Nothing is solid. That could be why the experiences in the seemingly physical realms of certain simulations are so sought after and valuable to immortal beings. Many say that those here experiencing this simulation are truly elite and privileged to get this opportunity. So at this point, flat earthers and Archaix followers can agree that we're currently on a stationary flat plane. What's beyond here is yet to be deciphered. For a while now, I've considered this to be a realm that morphs to suit the observer's beliefs and intentions. Describing it as a simulation wasn't necessary for me to appreciate the so-called supernatural aspects here, but simulation theory does make perfect sense. Okay, putting the flat Earth issues aside, we'll now discuss our solar system, simulated or not. Earth is actually in a binary system, meaning there are two stars or suns. The brighter of the stars collapse and can no longer be seen, but still has gravitational influences. There were initially 11 planets harmoniously orbiting in the system, including planet Nibiru, our moon, and the current asteroid belt. The brighter sun collapsing marks the beginning of this simulation. The simulation may be to prevent the event or to survive it. The devastation caused by the star collapsing put the Earth in its current out-of-place orbit, as well as putting the Nemesis object in its current 972-year orbit within our system. The very extensive timelines typically given to Nibiru's orbit period and the history of the Anunnaki are way off. It was much less time than being reported. What I've gathered is that Nibiru was the Anunnaki's planet. However, I've also heard Jason say that the Anunnaki, same thing, are just advanced humans from here. Perhaps the inhabitants on both Nibiru and Earth were the same species. The Anunnaki and the humans on Earth at the time were very advanced. Only 10% survived the cataclysm. Upon the star collapsing, the survivors on Nibiru fled. Some came to Earth and some went to the moon. The moon is a hollowed-out observatory occupied by the Igigi. Like any group, the Anunnaki have both good and bad factions. The Igigi are a bad faction. They are the current parasitic rulers. Enki and his crew are a good faction. I also heard Jason say that the inhabitants of the moon, the Igigi, were a protocol written in by the Simulacrum, or by Archaix. Perhaps the Annunaki, being from Nibiru, is part of the simulation. Again, I have some uncertainty here. I don't know if the Anunnaki are from Earth or from Nibiru or both. The Anunnaki here on Earth, perhaps along with the Earth survivors, designed and implemented the Simulacrum program. They wanted a safe, contained place to conduct DNA experiments without contaminating the real world. How we immortal beings ended up occupying these DNA creations is still kind of unclear to me too. Maybe the experiment required the ability to understand how the avatars feel and think, as well as how they behaved, and they needed real participants to submerge themselves into the simulation in order to acquire this data. Again, more to ponder. The Anunnaki used their own DNA combined with chimpanzee DNA to create worker races. Eventually, the Anunnaki started breeding with us to create Caucasians. The Anunnaki could just be the advanced beings of both Earth and Nibiru, and perhaps other places. Again, still have questions. Anunnaki excelled in technology, while the Neolithic workers, often led by matriarchs, excelled in sympathetic magic. The Great Pyramid of Giza is a feat of very advanced technology, along with highly developed sympathetic magic combined. There are most likely Anunnaki, both good and bad, as well as all kinds of unimaginable species existing underground and perhaps other places in this realm. When the vapor canopy returns in 2040, many may resurface. The Annuna, or the Anunnaki, are due to return in 2046 or sooner, and Enki in 2106 to activate the Great Pyramid, ending AIX. Again, I'm not sure what's predicted to happen from 2106 to 2178 as far as errants are concerned. I'm gathering that the apocalypse will be played out in the Simulacrum. So there's a lot of fear-mongering with respect to the Anunnaki and everything else going on these days, so always remember to stay fearless and focused on what you want, and always help others when you can. I'm personally looking forward to seeing how things unfold. I appreciate that 18 years is not that long from now, and by then we'll all know for sure if Jason is correct or not. Please put any needed edits in the comments, and if you find these videos useful, think about subscribing and sharing. Thanks for your time, and I hope you have a great morning, afternoon, or evening wherever you are, and I'll talk to you next time. Ciao, ciao.